If you completed the movie on absolute references, you should have a worksheet expense report that looks kind of like this. And what we want to do here is put in some dates and some time so that if you open this up later, you can see the date. So let's go down here to Excel A20. Now there's sort of two basic ways of putting in the date. One way is you could put it in so that it's permanent, it doesn't change, kind of like typing it in. The second way is putting it in as a function so that it will change depending upon when you open it. And I really shouldn't say a function, there's two functions that will let you put in the date. So let's take a look at the first way, just manually. All you have to do is press Control semicolon. Semicolon's to the right of the letter L on your keyboard. And you see it simply puts in the date, and I'll just press Enter. Now, that's just a time-saving step, so you don't have to type it in manually, which means that if you open it up tomorrow, next week, next month, it's still going to have the date that you just put in there. Well, what if you want this so that when you open it up, whatever day you open it up, it reads the current day? Well, to do that, we use the function called equals today, and it has an open and close parenthesis with nothing in it. The today function just doesn't have anything in the parenthesis, but it's a function, so it does have to have a parenthesis, and I'll enter it. The today function reads the date that's in your clock, and I want you to see that this actually will change. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't feel like sitting around looking at this video for the next week or so, so we're going to fake it out. We're going to go and change the date manually. So I'm just going to go over here to the computer clock, and I'm going to click here, change date and time. I'm just going to put this up to the end of the week, TGIF. I click OK. So now we can see it shows Friday. Now we come back to Excel, and you see it hasn't changed. The reason is that Excel will change the date only when the worksheet recalculates. Now the worksheet will recalculate if you type something in, if you change something. So I'm just going to go over here to this number. I'm just going to type the same number again. And I type that in and I press enter. And now the whole worksheet recalculates and you can see the date has changed. If you don't want to do that, you can use a shortcut to force a worksheet to recalculate just by pressing the F9 key. Well, let's leave it at that date. And another function that you can use, let's go over here into A22 and let's type equals now. And again, this is an open and close parenthesis without anything in it. Press enter. And now you see this gives us the date and the time. Now, don't worry if you don't like that formatting. We're going to take care of formatting at some point later. But Excel is still reading off the clock. And let's go and change this back. I'm going to go over here to change date and time. I'm going to change this back to Monday. Click OK. I'm going to go back here, and I'll just type that number in again. And when I enter in Excel, you can see it changes those numbers back. And again, I could also have pressed the F9 key. So you have a few different ways of putting in the date and the time. We'll come back to this in a later movie.